Lord, I'm tired.
I have to go to the bank today. Yellow is a book about a couple running a failing corner store in a town with a huge crime rate. The couple are Lydia and Oliver, and the story literally starts with them getting harassed by a guy named Angel. Angel threatens to kill Oliver and his wife because Oliver forgot what cigarettes Angel usually buys. After Angel leaves, Lydia tells Oliver how much of let me just check that 30 seconds have passed. Yep, pussy he is for not standing up for her or himself, and that she hates him for ruining her life. The next chapter introduces us to Officer Thomas, who's a big old racist, and he loves killing homeless people, like so much. He loves killing them, and he just kills anyone he doesn't like without any consequences. This chapter also introduces us to Oliver's only friend Raymond, who has a total of 7 pages. And he basically talks about going to the beach with his girlfriend, and Oliver thinks about how he hasn't gone to the beach with Linda in ages. The next chapter introduces us to the villain, who's like an evil Satanist murder guy, and he talks like the fucking lich. He's all like,
"You should never speak about me, child. You had so much promise. The lawman has no more power than you. The lawman is my dog and his followers are my minions. I have candy that they all crave. I own the paper that they all worship blindly. There is no savior. There is only sanctuary in our solidarity. We are one now, and you shall fuel the future. We will all be one in time."
Also, this chapter is about Angel picking up his friend Levi from prison, and they're gonna do something really bad. Angel and Levi then break into Lydia and Oliver's apartment and rape them. There's a lot of detail, but when it's happening to Oliver, Lydia starts smiling at him. And when Oliver wakes up in the hospital, his face is scarred and broken, and a detective tells him that Lydia was forced to peg him with a knife. Also, I forgot to say earlier, but when Levi was first introduced, we found out that him and Angel became friends because Angel was about to get assaulted in prison, but Levi saved him. Anyway, when Oliver tells the detective what happened, Officer Thomas is standing in the doorway and he starts laughing. When Oliver gets home, he finds out that Lydia has killed herself with an umbilical cord, and that she left a note saying that she didn't do it because the guys came back, but because of how much she hates Oliver. Oliver then goes to the credit union place to get a mortgage because Linda couldn't pay because she was too busy killing herself. In the credit union place, Oliver speaks to the branch manager, Evelyn Watts, who tells him that there's nothing she can do for him and that he should have set up an automatic payment system because now he's going to be homeless. And when he tells her about Lydia's death, she just calls him a fucking idiot for not setting up the automatic payment system, and she kicks him out into the rain. Officer Thomas then drives past and tells Oliver to stop causing trouble, and he shows him that he falsely arrested Raymond for being a sex offender. Oliver then goes to Raymond's apartment and he buys a bunch of guns off of his brother, and now we're in the revenge part of the story. Oliver then waits for Levi to come back again, and when he does, he brings another friend with him, and when they get there, they see Lydia's body on a bed with a bunch of air fresheners on her, with "fuck me" written on her with lipstick. Oliver then holds the trigger of his gun till he kills Levi's friend, and he hurts Levi. He then smashes Levi's legs in with a sledgehammer, and he pisses on his face and cuts his ear off. When Levi passes out, Oliver just gives him some strength-smelling salts to wake him up, even though both his legs are crushed like some sloppy fucking lasagna. And I'm no scientist, but that doesn't seem quite right. Levi then tries to crawl towards the gun, but Oliver breaks his jaws and cuts all his fingers off, except his middle fingers and his thumbs. Oliver then makes Levi have sex with Lydia's maggot-infested body, and he reveals he's also had sex with her dead body before.
I'm gonna fucking kill myself!
Levi then cuts his penis on the blades inside Lydia's pussy that Oliver put in there like a shitty fucking saw trap, and he just shoots him in the face, and Levi dies. End of the chapter. We then find out that Officer Thomas has a deal with the owner of the funeral home. So basically, Officer Thomas kills a load of people so the funeral home gets more business and bodies, and Officer Thomas is also a paedophile, and he takes advantage of dead girls' bodies with a long fucking description of him doing that, and it's fucking gross. Also, this is the first time I've read an Aron Beauregard book with the N-word. He uses more slurs in the book, but like, what's the point of even mentioning them at this point? I just 100% expected this book to say the N-word. Anyway, Oliver is hiding in a casket, so he jumps out when the owner of the funeral home leaves, and he just throws a grenade in Officer Thomas's pants, blowing up his cock and his leg, and he kills him with a shotgun after he finds out the chief of police knows about the crime going on. And when the owner of the funeral home gets back, Oliver slashes him with a machete and cuts his head off. Oliver then gets into Evelyn's house, pictured in the cover, and he ties her down, and he's about to shove a hot fire poker up her ass when her friend with benefits, or boy toy or whatever, sees Oliver through the window and he thinks Evelyn's cheating on him, so he makes his way inside. He kicks Oliver's ass. But Oliver just shoots him with a shotgun, and there's a long description of him shoving that fire poker up her ass and burning her asshole. We then get introduced to Genocide, so fucking stupid, who's going through Damien's lair on the 13th floor and walking past a bunch of depressed and abused women before stopping an abused pregnant girl, and she brings her to Damien. Damien's on the church on the same floor, I think. I don't know, I was kind of falling asleep here. But he sees the pregnant woman, cuts the fetus out of her, and then rips his dick and balls off and eats them like fucking popcorn. He then calls in Angel and tells him if he doesn't bring him Oliver, then he'll kill his little brother who's on an upside down cross right now. I don't fucking know. And he better be quick, or Genocide will give his little brother unconsensual head. The next chapter starts with Oliver having a crazy time, and he's talking to imaginary Lydia before going down to the shop, and Angel's there and they fight, but Oliver knocks Angel out. When Angel wakes up, he's tied to a chair and Oliver makes him play a game of what cigarette is what, and when he gets it wrong, Oliver puts a handful of lit cigarettes onto Angel's crotch before beating him to death with a sock full of batteries. Oliver then waits by an abandoned mill for a few days until the chief of police and another cop shows up, and when they do, Oliver follows them inside and finds out they've been human trafficking girls, and there's a long fucking description of them assaulting the girls, and it's just really disgusting. Oliver then pulls his gun on them and tells the human trafficked girls that they can do whatever they want to them, so they make them fight to death in a cage. The girls then tell Oliver the main human trafficked guy is on a fucking boat called the Big Hands, so Oliver gets on the boat and sees the Big Hands assaulting some girl whose legs are chained as far apart as humanly possible. Oliver then shoots him a bunch of times without him dying, like it's a boss fight or something. He then shoots him some more and kills him, and then the human trafficked girls get on the boat and leave, and they say how grateful they are that Oliver saved them. Oliver then calls the detective and tells him about the human trafficking. He then goes to his car but is kidnapped by a police officer and taken to Damien. When Oliver gets there, Damien cuts off Angel's little brother's head, and the other cop yells, "Jesus Christ," to which Damien responds,
No, but I do understand the confusion.
So fucking stupid. Anyway, Genocide bites into the officer's neck, but he reaches for his gun, but as he does, Damien kills him with an axe. Damien then ties up Oliver, but he escapes and drops an iron cauldron onto Genocide, killing her. Damien then sticks 2 goats onto Oliver, but he kills them, and Damien and Oliver get into a fight. Damien's just kind of whipping the shit out of Oliver, and Damien's all like,
Turn over, you fat pig! Turn over so I can watch you become the Dark Communion. Turn over and concede to your consumption.
And Oliver's all like, consume this, and shoots Damien with the cop's revolver and leaves. And I need to abbreviate every word at the end of a sentence. He then sees the detective at the human trafficking scene, and he's all like, we gotta call the FBI. And forget about Raymond, he's not coming back to this story, he is gone. He does not get a law ending, he is fucking gone. The book then ends on Oliver going to the beach with Lydia's body, and when they get there, he dies to his injuries from the fight, and him and Lydia are washed away into the sea. And that was Yellow. To those of you who didn't understand or had no idea what was going on, basically a couple around a failing corner store, they get raped, lady kills herself, guy goes on a big revenge story, and then he dies at the end. Or to simplify,
Your time has come! Your time has come!
and I watched the movie Death Wish, the film this was based off, and it was a pretty good movie, but the point is that Paul is fucking likable and didn't fucking rape his dead wife's body. What the fuck? And I don't know if it was like supposed to be a twist on Death Wish by making him just as bad as the rapist, but if so, that's fucking lame, okay? You could have just Aron Beauregard it up and made some cool kills, but you just had to fucking make the main character so goddamn unlikable. Every character was unlikable. Fucking Oliver's wife literally just smiled at him when that was happening to him. I don't fucking like her. I didn't really care much when she killed herself, because, you know, she was kind of an asshole. Raymond was the only likable one. Again, no conclusion for him whatsoever. You know, he just disappeared as soon as he went to prison. He is not coming back. He does not get bailed because all the captains died. He's just still in prison. He's just probably gonna die in prison. Who the fuck gives a shit? This is a book called fucking Yellow by Aron Beauregard. Not many people give a shit, but to me, This shit means something to me, man. It means something. And I don't know if I was expected to root for Oliver, because he literally raped his dead wife's body. Like, as soon as it said that, I stopped giving a shit about him. Even when they tried to pull that shit with the human traffic girls, like, oh, he saved us, he saved us. Who the fuck gives a shit? He's a fucking rapist. No one fucking likes this guy. Why didn't he just die? And he did just die, but it took too long, because I was waiting for him to die. I didn't give a shit about anyone else. The fucking detective. Who the fuck cares? Raymond was the only nice guy. He's gone. He ain't coming back. He's in prison. He does not get a conclusion to his story. What the fuck is this book? Why did I read a book called Yellow and expect something fucking good? You know, this is kind of on me as well. Why would I read this and expect goodness? And Jesus Christ, just end the fucking video. End the.
Oh, turn, spit on that thing.
You know, this is coming out in like a month. That's just gonna be dead.
Oh,
People are
no.
just gonna fucking click off the video. I just put this at the beginning. Everyone just
They
clicks
just
on the
click
video.
off immediately.
I get no views.